be warm. And Happy New Year, Vagaris. How are you all today? Thank you so much for joining us on our first webinar this year. We are so excited to get going. And of course, if you've already joined us in the past, you know that there were Catherine and Aileen, and we are the profitable salon owner. And our mission has always been to get salon owners profitable fast.
And you know, Aileen, it is a new year. I think it's time for a new picture.
I think so
neither
too.
one of us really
we don't look like that at all anymore.
Like that anymore.
No. And now, actually, we both wear glasses now.
Yeah.
Although I think you're going to get out of glasses later this year, and it'll just be me wearing glasses.
That's right. So
and don't forget, everybody, that Catherine and I have actually written a success program specifically geared to the salon industry. And believe me, it is really an inexpensive investment. So check out our website, which we'll give you at the end of our webinar, because if you need help with your business this year, we're here for you, okay? Anyways, today's lesson is really kind of exciting because, of course, it is 2015, and we've decided to put together the 10 Commandments.
Yes, we have.
Yes, absolutely. And I think if you were on last month's webinar with us, we did key challenges. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to take some of those key challenges and turn them into some things that you want to take care of this year.
Absolutely. So, I mean, there are 10 commandments, and really when you think about it, it's not a lot, but they do take some thinking, and they do take some working towards. We're not saying that these should all happen overnight, but really if you want your business to be really successful this year and you want to do things that are different, then I really think you need to look at our 10 commandments. And it's a little tongue-in-cheek, you know, but look at these 10 commandments and really design a strategy for yourself. Look at the ones that you are doing right now. Look at the ones you may not be doing all that well, and, you know, starting to work towards those. So we've got hello, Richard from Sacramento, and hello from gorgeous, sunny Canton, Georgia.
Oh, right.
Make us jealous. Make us jealous.
No kidding.
It is not sunny here today. That is for darn sure.
No.
All right, so let's get going. So
Pitter patter. Let's get at her. All right, number 1. Thou will manifest an amazing year.
And I have to tell you, I'm a big believer in manifesting your destiny. I have had so many friends say to me, Catherine, you manifest your own destiny. But that's because I really believe in visualizing what it is that I want and how I'm going to get there.
You know, and it is, you know, what you and I are on the same page on this one. I've been teaching goal setting workshops for the last 20 years, and I am a firm believer in the belief that the difference between a dream and a goal is the written word. I know lots and lots of dreamers out there whose dreams never come to fruition because they don't turn them into goals. They just, oh yes, someday I'm going to do this, or someday I'm going to do that. But if you write it down and visualize it, you will manifest your future.
Absolutely. And, you know, in talking about that, I mean, this is something that it's going to take you a little bit of time to do, but I put it first because I really believe that
everything else follows along with it.
Everything else does follow along with it, because really this is a new year, and you have a chance to sit down. You have a clean slate, have a chance to sit down and manifest exactly what it is that is going to happen to you this year. So, and the very first thing you have to do is actually sit down with paper and pen and spend a few minutes thinking about what you're going to write down. So, you know, and be part of the 2% of people who actually write their goals down.
Now, isn't that frightening when you think that only 2% of people who are actually writing down their goals, which means that possibly only 2% of people are actually achieving their goals? People, set yourself apart from everybody else. Be part of that 2% and write down your goals. In fact, Kath, you and I were chatting earlier about this, about how to, you know, think about 2016, January 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about what it's going to look like, how it's going to feel to be in January 2016 and look back on 2015 and realize as you go down your written list of all the things that you have achieved because you wrote it down. Imagine how that will make you feel. Now talk about manifesting.
And I think I have told this story before, but I think it's a really powerful indication. I went to a Tony Robbins seminar a number of years ago, Date with Destiny. And at that time, I paid well over $3,000 to attend this thing and thought I was everybody thought I was out of my tree to do it. But I did. I made the investment. I went.
You invested in yourself.
I did. And, at that seminar, we had to write down a number of goals. And I wrote them down. I still have the book. And I think some of you will have heard this before. The only thing I have not achieved on that list is to jump out of an airplane.
Thank God.
And it's not for lack of trying, because I have booked to go 3 times, and 3 times the weather has come into play. And my mother said to me, Catherine, I think God is trying to tell you something. So I've decided I will scratch that one off my list. It's not for lack of trying. Yeah. So, that it's really powerful. And when I go back and look at that, it reminds me of how absolutely powerful it is to do this exercise.
And listen, when you're on your goals, of course we talk a lot about business goals and sales goals, but this is also applicable in your personal goals as well. Your fitness levels, your nutrition, your health, or whatever, even, how you want to live your life.
Yeah, how many hours you want to work, you want to be working, what your lifestyle should look like.
So take some time, really, really sit down, and perhaps even from the 10 commandments that we talk about today, you start writing down the things that you want to achieve this year. Write pages, really, really take some time, and then start prioritizing them and putting them into categories of how you're going to work. Oh, by the way, hello to Edmonton. -24 Celsius. I can't even think of what that is in Fahrenheit. But believe me, you Americans, it's cold.
Yeah, Robin, I hear your pain, because next week I will be in Winnipeg, and I'm sure it's going to be that cold when I get there as well. So
yeah,
stay warm.
All right. Commandment number 2 is, thou shalt know thy numbers.
And this is one that I honestly am so up on, because you can't know where you're going if you don't know, number one, where you started, and you don't know what you need to do in order to get there.
Yeah. And, I hate to say it. I mean, we're the beauty industry. We're filled with creative and artistic minds. And I really appreciate that. However, if you can't earn a living, a decent living doing this business, what's the point of having your art? The gift of your art is to earn you a living and to give you a future. And part of that future is knowing your numbers. And believe me, numbers are creative.
They are. You can be very creative with your numbers.
But you got to know them to be creative.
You have to know them. And honestly, this is, don't even start to do any of this stuff unless you absolutely know your numbers. Like, all the times that Aileen and I go into salons, we've dealt with these salons for years. And I will tell you that I know that between 80 and 90% of them have no idea what they did last week, what they did last month,
or last year. Seriously, people, take a look. Ask yourself right now, go look in the mirror and say, what did I do in 2014 in the way of sales? Do you know right now? Because if you don't, this is the first thing that you need to get going on, is knowing your numbers.
Yeah, and it's really, you can break it down into the smallest common denominators. When I look at numbers, if I'm setting out a goal, and Aileen and I are really good for this, we'll set out a goal, and, so this is what we need. This is our big picture goal. Now, let's break it down, because I think, and it's the same if you're a stylist or if you have staff, large numbers scare people.
Yes.
But if you break it down into daily numbers, that's more manageable for any of us. You and I included.
Absolutely. So, so for example, if you want to do, say, $10,000 in revenues in a month, right? That means that you're looking at $120,000 in revenues for the year, right? Well, that does sound like a big number, but all of a sudden, if you take that number and break it down into a daily goal, you'll find out that, maybe it's only $500 or $600. I don't have my calculator out, but I don't think it's as much as you think it is. And all of a sudden, now it's doable.
And, just remember, you can go back into the archives and find our goal setting webinars that we have done in the past, which is, targeted all around goals. So you can, that information is available to you. So go back and listen again. I do that all the time. I listen to things again and again because we only retain probably about 12% of the information.
And guess what? I just broke down that $10,000 a month, right? It ends up being $476 per working day based on a 21 day a month.
Working month. Yeah.
Working month. So, $476 bucks, you guys, to make 10 grand a month. I mean, yeah, seriously.
And really employ the KIT principle. I love this one. It's how I do things. Like, keep it simple, stupid, right? Because I don't like to really confuse myself.
We used to be polite to say, keep it simple, salesmen. But I like the stupid idea, right?
It's all right. We all just want to keep it simple. And a lot of you know that if you've listened to us before that I believe in the calendar method, which is the simplest method you could possibly have.
And everybody can do this. Yes. This isn't QuickBooks on a computer. This isn't any type of accounting program whatsoever.
It's just
a
plain
simple
old calendar.
Exactly. In fact, I think you've got an example of it in our next slide, Cal.
Yeah, I sure do. So it's just a plain old calendar. And every day, let me tell you, I grew my business to a multi-million-dollar business employing this method.
And,
because
it works.
It's visual.
Yeah.
Every client I ever coached, this was one of the first things we did. And they had it, behind their desk or in their office or wherever they wanted to keep it because it was so easy to do. So every single month, you look at the number of working days in the month. You've decided already what your goal is going to be.
Well, and let's say it's at $476 per day, right?
So you need to make $476 a day in order to hit your goal. And so on the calendar, every day that you're working, you write down $476. For every day that you hit that goal, you take a nice bright yellow highlighter and you highlight it. It will be really interesting for you to track it because you'll see as you go along, if you're diligent with this, the first month you may not, have all that many highlighted squares there, but I'll tell you, as the months go on, you have more and more and more. And you know why that is?
Yes, you do, because it's manifesting your destiny. You drive yourself there. It's almost a subliminal, subconscious thing. I can't even explain it, but all I know is that when you track your numbers, you will start making your goals more and more regularly.
You're giving it attention.
Exactly.
You're paying attention.
You're giving it,
And that's really what it's all about. I mean, that's what we have to look at.
And it isn't just our industry that hasn't been great at this. I've trained sales teams in different industries over my career, and I can't tell you the number of salespeople out there who also don't know how much they sold or what their goals are or what they have to achieve. And believe me, if you want to be successful in any business, you must know where you stand on a daily basis. Now, the calendar, too, is also so interesting because how easy is that? If you look across, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, you add it up and put your total on the 10th and do that all the way across 17, 24, and at the bottom, then you add up what you're doing weekly. I mean, how easy is that? So first of all, you get your weekly totals, and then at the end, you've got a monthly total. It's so simple. And,
I even go one step further. I take it and break out service and retail.
Well, yeah, I think that's brilliant.
Because if what I need to bring in collectively is $476 a day, I know for myself, I want 20% of that to come from retail sales.
Yeah.
And so that's, I even break it down more. Yeah. So again, I said, smallest common denominator, right? What you focus on is what grows.
You got it.
So there we have knowing your numbers.
Got it. Number 3, thou shalt zealously build your database.
Now, I hope you all know what we mean by a database. Everybody in this day and age should know what we mean by
Doesn't everybody know about the base? Because it's all about the base.
Oh,
about
no,
the base. No,
sorry,
trouble.
sorry. I forgot to put her off switch on this morning. There she goes again, trying to sing.
What do you mean trying? I thought I was really successful. All right, the database. You know, come on, you people are Vagaris. That means that you are involved in a very sophisticated segment of our business. It means that you have the ability to collect all the information about your client. That's your database.
Yes, it is. And so many of us, I mean, I don't even really know if people understand that if you want to sell your business, there's not really a lot there to sell unless you have a very well put together, solid database, because that's what somebody's buying.
Exactly. They're buying your clientele. And if you don't have a database of your clientele, you really have nothing to sell. Because believe me, even if you have a salon with 10 or 15 employees, you know, which would be generating a fair amount of revenue, you have no guarantees that any of those stylists or service providers will stay with you. All you've got is the information inside of your computer. Yeah. So, and believe me, this is not just our industry that has this. This is the foundation of
every business.
Every business.
Every single business. And we have not been good at it up until this point because, you know, for a long time, we worked with a book, paper book and pencils. And, you know, we could erase things. We just didn't know much on any information on our clients. In fact, still today, we deal a lot with people who have, all they have are a name and a phone number.
Yeah.
On clients. It's not good enough anymore, people.
No.
We need to have as much detail about our clients as possible. Just think about this for a minute. 20% of your clients will usually be bringing you 80% of your income. Now, you need to, those 20% of your clients, you need to know as much about those clients as you possibly can, because for two reasons. One, you really want to keep those clients, and two,
you want to bring them back in again. You want to market to them. You want them to build up. The most important number that we have too is often our average ticket price, right? So say somebody's spending $100 with you, and you're trying to build your business and increase. Sometimes you might not have room for more clients, but you've always got room to sell your clients more. How are you going to get them to do that? Go to your database. Find out who your best clients are and market to them. But unless you know what it is, what your clients are looking for, if you don't know and understand your clients, you can't market to them.
No, you can't. And I mean, I'm going to point out, and keeping as many details about these top 20% of your clients is you want to know, which target market they're coming from. Because they will have similarities.
You got it.
And then, you can market to either get more of those clients or, where those people are. And then you can really target your market.
You got it.
So rather than if the top 20% of your clients are female business owners or business of women in
professional business, yeah,
then you know that you may have to open later in the evenings. Yeah. You know that, a lot of them are interested in not just hair, but makeovers. They're interested in their appearance.
They may also be your best leads for referrals as well, because if they're your top 20%, you want more clients like that. So it is so incredibly important. And, we've got to know more details about our clients. And as we said, Vagaro makes this really, really simple. And it's just up to you to get more familiar with your system and use it efficiently.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the one question I really want you to ask yourself. Am I using my system efficiently?
And with everything that it has available, because believe me, Vagaro does so much for you. It's we're crazy not to take advantage of it.
And if you don't really understand it, maybe you need a refresher on some of the features and benefits of it. And I'm sure that Vagaro would be happy to do that. I know that, weekly they have intros for business, but, Susie's on Susie's on the call with us today from Vagaro, and if you need something, let them know.
Yep, because gosh, and honestly, I don't think I've ever met a more forward-thinking company who is so willing to work with their customers to give them the things that they need. So you don't ask, you don't get.
Yep, and that's my motto.
Yeah. Number 4, Catherine.
Number 4, thou shalt solicit testimonials and online reviews.
What an interesting commandment. And why have we used this one today, Kath?
Because in this day and age, everybody is online on their smartphones, and if they want to check out a business, where do they go?
Yeah, they go to the internet nowadays, right? Yeah. And we're looking for information from the internet on a regular basis. And you know, one of the foundations of our business, of course, is referrals. Well, to me, the testimonials and online reviews are a form of referral.
Absolutely.
You know, when you give a good testimonial online, and somebody else sees that, they think, "Wow, that's great. I think I'll try that salon."
Absolutely. And you know, really, we have to think about it. And it's not just online. I really believe that we should be asking all of our clients if they're happy, if they would leave us a testimonial, and even in your salon, have what's the word I'm trying?
A request.
But
have a request.
My mouth is stuck closed. Yeah, you know, just have a form and ask clients if they would mind leaving a review, because even in the salon, we have books out in our salon, and what we have in the guest books that we have, they have written testimonials in. There's some lovely testimonials in there. Now, you know, it's easier, I find, to get clients to do that than sometimes go online to leave a review, because usually if a client is really upset, that's when, you know, they're more apt to go online and leave a review.
Yeah, and the statistics on that are scary. Only if you have something positive to say, you might tell 9 people. If you have something negative to say, you'll tell 16.
That's true. Yeah,
almost twice the amount, right? So people are weird. Yeah. What can I tell you?
And you know, we've got down here reward clients who go online to leave testimonials. And I don't necessarily mean by giving them like a cash incentive or an incentive, but I really believe that clients who take the time to do things, because it's a really nice thing for our business to do that, deserve a thank you card. And hopefully you have their address, because
then your database,
because that is so personal for you to take the time just to say thank you so much for leaving that lovely review. We so appreciate your business.
And really think about this too. If you yourself are looking to make a purchase or find a service, and you go online and you take a look at a couple of websites in your area, and you find one that's got all sorts of personal testimonials and the other one has nothing, which one are you probably more likely to go and visit? Probably the one with the positive testimonials, right?
Well, and I was looking not that long ago at doing business with a company, and I went online and looked at the reviews, and they were scathing.
Wow.
About the customer service.
Oh gosh, remember that? That was unbelievable.
And you know, so that prompted me to kind of cross that person off my list, because it was somebody that we were looking to do business with, that would do business with our customers. Yeah. And we just said, no, that's just not going to happen.
And speaking of negative reviews, you know, we get asked this a lot, because, you know, what do you do about a negative review? Take care of it. Answer it, embrace the problems, because if you can solve a problem, you've made a customer for life. And if you don't mind me using your son as an example, because one of Kath's sons called the other day and said, "Mom, you're not going to believe what happened, and you should have seen his hair. His regular stylist wasn't available, so he went somewhere else and sat down, and this person did not even ask him what he wanted, just took out a number 2 and started cutting." Well, he was so upset, right? So upset. So say that he had actually left a really negative review on that salon's website. Here's an opportunity for that stylist to come back and say, I am so sorry that I disappointed you. I totally appreciate where you're coming from, and what it's done for me is this will help me move forward as a stylist, because I realized that the mistake I made is I didn't do the proper consultation. I didn't listen to what your needs are, and I'm so opportunity to learn from the experience. Please allow me to fix this for you.
Or the owner should be on there,
Absolutely.
immediately.
Fix it.
And I know that there's a problem out there these days with, people going on and leaving phony reviews and all of these things. That's always going to happen. But if you get negative reviews, always go on and answer them and say, no, I would be more than happy to fix the problem.
Acknowledge the problem.
Please call, and we can chat about it off of this site. But at least if people see that you have tried to fix it.
Exactly. And if you acknowledge that you can learn from your mistakes, because that's the most important thing, isn't it? That we can learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, and I just put, Yelp, Google, there's so many other ones out there that are around now. But as business owners, or even, if you're an independent, you should be trolling these fairly regularly to make sure that you are not, there's nowhere out there that there's a bad review.
Exactly.
So, very important part.
Exactly. Number 5, Catherine, is thou shalt use video. And I think this is a great slide to have after the testimonials, because we sort of touched a little bit on having testimonials on your website, because they are powerful.
Yeah, so really, video these days is so simple, quick. It's easily uploaded from your smartphone, but it is extremely effective in getting your message across to your audience. So, I'm sure you all know, because everybody in their own life is taking videos and uploading them to YouTube. I see them all the time. There's millions of them.
I gotta do more selfies this year. That'll be one of my goals.
Oh,
more
great.
Selfies.
We better get it. We better get a filter on our cameras then. The selfie craze, I'm not really sure about. But, some of ideas for videos for your business, how-to videos, new style updates, client transformations that happen in the salon.
Everybody loves a makeover.
Yeah. Video testimonials are powerful, powerful things to put on your website, put on Facebook, any of those, social media sites that you can. Introduce your new staff.
Yes,
in a video.
Exactly. So people can see who they are and what they might look like, or what their skills are. Have a little, a little video presentation. I think it's a fantastic idea.
And instead of just sending out an email for your special promotion,
do a video. How unique is that? And one of the things that, most of us aren't aware of, the more video content you actually put on your website, for example, the higher up you go in your Google rankings as well.
Absolutely. It's all connected. Of course, YouTube and Google are connected. So they like it when you're adding more video content. They want you to keep your website fresh. And that's really one of the things that you need to be looking at. So, just wherever you are, use your smartphone to capture video, upload it to YouTube, and link it to your Facebook page and your website. And there you are. But video is going, and it's becoming increasingly more important.
You got it. And speaking of video, we're talking about a lot of technical things here, but the number 6 is
thou shalt have a mobile-friendly website. Now,
holy smoly,
Vagaris, if have your website through Vagaro, it will be mobile friendly.
Thank God, because here's the thing, as Kath and I are on the road a lot, and when we're out and about, we're looking for salons to call on, right? So we pull up our mobile phones, and guess what?
More often than not, they are not mobile friendly websites, or they don't have a website at all.
Now, I got to tell you, for the most part, I do most of the driving. Catherine does all the navigating and the direction finding, and she does all the navigating on our mobile phones as well. And the foul language, the colorful language, I should say, that comes out in our car when we're trying to find a place, because trying to squish and pinch and push to get the information,
Yeah.
Drives you crazy.
I know. And the one thing, please, 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 when you have contact information on your website, don't bury it away on like the 6th page of your website. Have it front and center. And when I mean front and center, I want your phone number, because most times when people are going to your website, I want a phone number. I want to be able to find you quickly, or call and ask, how do I get there? But more often than not, I have to go digging to find the contact information.
And so if we're struggling, imagine your potential clients trying to find you and how frustrated they're going to be. Do yourself a little favor and do a little exercise. Go in and, Google your local competition and check out what their websites are like and see how unfriendly they are. I think you'll be amazed. And then fix it for yourself. Make it easier for people to read your info and call you.
Because let me tell you, as consumers, we are lazy. We don't want to work to find it.
There's a reason that phrase came up. The Yellow Pages said it years ago. Let your fingers do the walking. We're still the same way.
Yeah, but we really just want it. We're an instant society. We want it now. And really, your phone number, when I'm looking on my smartphone for you, I want to press that phone number and I want it to link me right to your business.
Right. We want to give you a call right now.
Yeah. So the easier it is for people to read your info and call you, the better, because that's what business is all about. You want people to reach you. So don't hide. Be mobile friendly. Aileen and I will love you for it.
Absolutely. And if you're on Maui and you don't have a mobile friendly website, how will I find you this week?
Yeah, right. She's going to be looking at salons when she's trying to sit on the beach too. I'm not sure about that. Number seven, thou shalt create a newsletter.
Wow, this is such an interesting commandment, I think, because it's not something necessarily that a lot of salons are doing. However, it is an incredibly effective way of staying in touch with your client base. That beautiful database that you've been collecting in your system is now a way for you to connect with your clients when they're not in the salon.
Absolutely.
People want to be connected.
They do want to be connected.
And they want to be part of a community.
And in newsy things, you don't want to create a newsletter that is just a sales page. You want to tell them neat things, like what's happening in the space, who's doing what. Somebody just as a stylist just come back, what classes you've attended, tips, if you're a spa, skincare tips. If you're a hair salon only, talk about, hair tips.
We've got one of our salons that we call on. It has a great newsletter that they put out once a month, and it's filled with all sorts of interesting information. They have tips on blow drying or on styling, or sometimes I think last month they had something on eyelashes. It just wasn't all about selling. And then they had, who was going on holiday, what upcoming events are happening in the salon. And then finally, somewhere in there was a promotion.
Yeah, so you always want to have one promo in your newsletter. And seriously, it can be one page. So if you are, renting a chair, or if you're a booth rent, you can still create this, and it's a one-pager.
Exactly.
If you're really creative, 2 pages, if you have a lot to say. But, just start gathering some stories and mail it to your clients. They really want to know who you are and what you're doing.
And when we say mail it to your top clients, we mean actually get a stamp and mail it to your top clients.
Yeah, for sure. I absolutely mean that. Because remember what we said, 20% of your clients are producing 80% of your income. So, it's not a lot of money to send that out to your clients to keep them closer. And because the more they know about what's going on, the closer they feel.
Exactly. And you can send out to the rest of your list via email. And you can also put it out on Facebook, right? You can have it handed out in the salon.
Yeah.
And you can have copies of it in especially if it's a one-pager, like in an acrylic frame or something on different stations.
Yeah, so we put them all the way throughout our space. We always have our newsletters lying around. it's just really easy. We even email it out as well. But it's just, the more ways you can get it out there, the better. But I really think that we need to really look after our top clients. And I think you should know the names of all of those top clients, and you should do special things for them.
Absolutely. Show them that they're loved and cared for, and they'll come back time and time again, and they'll bring their friends.
And, you know, I know some of you would say I'm not creative, whatever. We have a friend of ours, Susan Vincent, creates newsletters for people on a monthly basis. Specifically
in our industry.
Yeah, and it's $97 a month she charges to do, I think it's a 4-page newsletter.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
But you know what? If you're not good at it, $97 isn't a lot of money to spend
on marketing
for the return that you can get on that investment.
You got it.
So, you know, if anybody's interested in finding out more about Susan, we can definitely...
At the end of our presentation today, there will be our email address, and you can just send us a note, and we'll make sure you get Susan's information, okay?
Yeah, so, but newsletters are a great way to reach out and touch your clients.
Reminds me of the song, Catherine. I guess I won't sing it.
Oh, no, don't sing, Aileen.
Number 8 is thou shall learn and use social media.
Yes, and you know, a lot of us use social media. A lot of us are not all that good at really using social media. I think a great way these days, Facebook ads are actually converting people.
Yes.
But not boosting posts. That's not the same thing as a Facebook ad.
Yeah, those are two different things.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I use, we boost posts a fair amount and really get a lot of traffic from it.
Yeah, but what we're looking for, we're much broader based.
Yeah,
right?
But if you're a local business, a Facebook ad is incredibly effective. Check it out. And, you know, one of the things I've really noticed about Facebook lately, too, is they are doing all sorts of little webinars. They've got little YouTube videos on how to do things with Facebook. So check it out and find out how to do it, because honestly, it's still the strongest social media out there. Other great ones, I really think Instagram is a great way to pick up followers.
Yep.
Pinterest is great, especially if you've got, if you're in a community where there's a lot of fashion, forward-thinking people or whatever, find out what's available. Social media is powerful. And you know what? You are not going to build your business in this day and age without having some knowledge and using social media.
Yeah. And
so you can't bury your head in the sand anymore, people.
No. Remember, it's a relationship builder. Yep. First and foremost, it's a relationship builder. And then when you start building relationships with people on social media, then occasionally you can put out an offer, but not very often. Put it out there occasionally. If you're going to put an offer through Facebook, please check into Facebook ads. Mm-hmm. Now, they can be a little tricky, but once you learn it, it's like anything else. Like once you learn to ride a bicycle, then, it's easy. But again, this is all about, what you're going to do in the new year. Set yourself some goals and learn how to do it. And again, if you don't want to learn how to do it, find out if there's someone out in your area, or even somebody in the salon, because you often get people in the salon that are very good at things like this.
It's amazing. Just asking around, which one of you loves to do Facebook? And here's a great little chore for you. It isn't hard, but it does need to be done regularly and consistently.
Yeah, you can't put a post on, especially if you're engaging with you can't put a post on once every month.
No.
And we see that a lot.
Yeah, and you can't do it once a week either. You've really got to learn the statistics. And again, go and check out what Facebook has to offer. They do have little mini workshops and informative videos that you can take a look at to find out how to use it effectively. And Cal, hit on the last one there, though, because I think that's really important.
Yeah, so, and again, we talked about the videos that you would do on your camera. So upload your videos directly from YouTube onto your Facebook, and there's a link there that you can do that. So the more you can use your videos in the more places you can, the better it is. So learn how to do that. Not hard. just take some time. And any of these things, you know, there's so many free tutorials out there to be able to do it. It's just taking the time.
And these don't have to be half-hour productions, because people's attention span is pretty short.
2 minutes.
You're looking at between 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes tops. So it's pretty short and sweet.
Yeah, don't, anything past that, you'll notice that people, because one of the things I do first is I go to the bottom and see how long the video is.
Yeah.
And if it's too long and I don't have the time, it's just like, oh, I'm not gonna look at it. If it's 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, yeah, I can spare 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes.
And you know, so even say, oh, in fact, your salon did a couple fabulous videos not too long ago, and what they did was they put it in hyperspeed. You know,
they speeded it up so that it was a time lapse.
Yeah, and it was amazing because you saw that from the beginning to the end in 30 seconds or whatever, and oh my gosh, it was fabulous. I just kept looking at that over and over again, going, wow, because I just love makeover videos. I'm a freak for that.
Yeah. So again, and now video we did not do ourselves. We had help with, but again, we're willing to spend the money to delegate that type of thing out. But, we do tons of videos, like just little short videos that we upload to our website or our Facebook page. So again, get used to it. It's here to stay. It's one of the commandments. You must learn to use it.
You got it.
Or you're going to be left behind.
And number 9, thou shalt seek wisdom from surveys. Oh my gosh, here's another thing from the internet that is and you can use it personally too, but it is such a powerful tool. One of the things that drives Catherine and I crazy is when we talk to our business people and we ask them, well, who's your client? Describe your client to us. And what do they say, Catherine?
Oh, it's everyone from
babies to grandmothers.
Yeah. And it's like, that's too broad.
Yeah, you can't do that. We all have a wide range of clients coming into our salons and into our businesses. However, if you take a look, if you put out a survey, you will find, again, going back to that 80-20 rule, where your top 20%, that is really the client that we're talking about. That's the one that's bringing in the most money into your salon, and that's really your demographic. Yes, you're going to have people who fall outside that bell curve, but that 20% is going to be your client. But if you don't know who they are, you have nothing.
You have nothing. And really, it's all about feedback. I believe feedback is critical to any business. I don't care, again, if you are a single person or if you have multi-salons. If you don't have feedback, then you are not informed. You really don't know your client base. I really think we can always improve.
Always. And if you did a client survey last year, do it again this year, because your clients may have changed.
Yeah, maybe ask them different questions, right? You can ask of your current clients. You can put a survey up on Facebook and ask, you can do one question at a time on Facebook.
For sure. Or you could have a series of questions on a piece of paper that, you leave with your clients to fill out and have put into an anonymous box, envelope or whatever in the salon. You can use SurveyMonkey.
Yeah, and it's free for up to the first 100 responses. Again, subject lines are important. So
if you're using it on email, or
if you're using email, or even when it goes out on SurveyMonkey, they still ask you for a survey subject line. Yeah. So and you can just say, "I'd love your opinion. I would love your help. Can you help me? Could I ask a favor?" These are some of the subject lines that you can use, because what you're asking for is help, and people love to help.
Exactly. So ask them for help. Tell them what it is that you're doing. Like if you're putting out a survey in a salon, hand it to your client and say, we are working really hard this year to improve the services we bring to you. Please let us know how we're doing at this point so we can work on making changes or improving, right?
How can we get better?
Yeah. And here's the thing is, please don't look at these from a point of view. This is not criticism. This is an opportunity to grow, right? It's just information.
Another question that, Aileen, you really try and get people to ask is asking, do they have a yearly beauty budget?
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing that with you? Would it be helpful to have a set monthly payment plan? These are all things that you might want to ask going forward.
And how do we get different in our industry, right? Because as you know, our industry is changing. We've been seeing huge changes in the way we do business, etc. And if we don't do business differently, we just fall behind. And I really believe that the beauty budget is the wave of the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really think that it is, because a lot of times people will leave us because their circumstances have changed.
Yeah.
But if we've known that, maybe we could have done something different to help them with that. So, and again, the only way we know that is to ask questions.
Exactly. So put it in your survey, say, if you don't mind sharing with us what you think you might spend on your beauty needs this year. And because surveys are anonymous, you'll just get sort of a general idea. You'll find out why people only want to spend, like a couple $100 a year, or if they're willing to spend $2,000 a year, find out, okay? Ask.
Yeah, and again, it comes back to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. But feedback is critical, because we need to have people, our clients' feedback, our staff's feedback. We need to have feedback in order to make changes to do things better.
And you mentioned it here too, when you just said staff too, because your staff, if you are an employer, as well as being a stylist, if you're an employer, your employees are actually your number one customer. They are the ones that are going to be promoting you with the clients that sit in their chairs. So you need to get feedback from people who work for you if you've got employees.
And this just happened in the new year, just before the new year came in. A company that we work with quite a bit, one of their top people left. And really, it was all because one thing that they hadn't done, but they had never asked her if she was happy and what they could do to keep her happy. And trust me, she did the work of two people.
And so it was a huge loss to the salon. And the thing is that where's that stylist going to go without, because everybody takes their baggage with them, right? But instead, if they had asked her what she wanted and they could have worked with her, they would have kept that person.
The audio breaking up badly. Well, we're almost done. So again, one of the things is schedule time to visit other stylists or salons to check out the competition. It's always good to know what our competition is doing.
Oh, again, when we talk to people, they not only do they not go into other salons, they aren't even going into other businesses to find out how to use information from other industries to move their own business forward.
So think about it. It's always good to know what your competition is doing. And if your audio is breaking up, the recording will probably be okay. So you can catch anything you missed on the recording.
Yeah, because I don't think, I'm not sure, Susie, if we can do anything about that. Can you check it out for us? Oh, number 10. I love this.
And last but not least,
shall we say it together? Thou shalt have fun at work. Go ahead, Kath. Say it. Say it.
Yes, you should have fun at work. Last but not least, lighten up. Lighten up. We often tend to take ourselves way too seriously. And I will tell you, it's a proven fact that employees who have fun at work are more engaged. So,
yes, in fact, some of the statistics on employee engagement are really, really frightening. In Canada, it's like 64% of employees are not engaged in their business. So that's probably true for all of North America, which means that they're basically working against you.
True.
And again, if you haven't done an employee survey, how would you know? If you haven't asked, how would you know? Are you having fun at work? And what about the person next to you? Yeah. Kath, are you having fun at work?
Oh, yes, I always have fun at work. I work with you. You sing to me all the time. It's just great.
I haven't asked you if you really like it.
But, it's important to schedule fun things for yourself. And if you are one person working on your own, you know, every once in a while, take a mental health day.
You got it.
Seriously, you know, just get away. Don't think about things. Think about going out there and doing something that you're going to enjoy and you're going to have fun with. Because I'll tell you, when you come back, you are ready to engage again.
And you're refreshed, and you'll have more energy. You'll be more creative. It is, you know, I love that. Laughter is the best medicine. It is the best thing that you can do for yourself. And if you are not having fun, your stress level's too high.
And as an employer, one of the things that I do know with the generation of kids that we have, or people that we have now coming into the business, you know, money isn't as important to them as time.
Yeah. So priorities have switched over.
Absolutely. They really value their time and their time off. And so you need to make sure that we're looking at that and we're addressing it. And as an owner, when I used to schedule mental health days that I called my downtime, because I knew when I was getting stressed, I knew that I needed to do that because I was no good to anyone unless I was good within myself.
Because, you know, you are where the buck stops, you know, and you're the only one that can assess or whether you need to de-stress or whatever. So take a regular pulse check and find out how you're doing. Because if you're not having fun, what's the point?
Yeah, what is the point? So we're going to leave you with that today. We're going to leave you with figuring out your goals are the very first thing. How are you going to manifest this year to be the best year that you've ever had? And, you know, for some of you, that will be making more money. For some of you, that will be having more time to enjoy life. You know, for some of you, that may be a health issue. But whatever it is, that's the very first place that you start. And then follow some of these commandments through, because they are the things that are going to help differentiate you in the marketplace. And, you know, and be able to help you manifest that fabulous year. Because let's get honest. The only person that can make a change is standing in front of the mirror. So, you know, go look in the mirror and really assess where you are and where you're going and what it's going to take to get you there. And we will be here to help you with every step of that as you go down the road. We're always at the end of an email. Speaking of that, there we are. So our website is www.theprofitablesalonowner.com, and our email is info@theprofitablesalonowner.com. If you have any questions for us, please feel free. We always take the time to answer any questions. Another thing that I do have that I can offer you is I have a questionnaire that we send out to clients that we're going to work with. And it does have a lot of detailed questions in there about goal setting. If you would like a copy of it, we would be happy to send it to you.
And if you'd like Susan Vincent's information, again, send us a note, and we will send you that information. And Susie is going to put this up on the site so that you can listen to it again. And if you'd like a copy of the PDF of the 10 Commandments, again, send us a note, and we would be happy to share it with you. And we're so grateful that you all came to join us today. It is always such a treat to do the webinars for Vagaro.
Yeah, and you know, some of the information it's just layering information, because you'll take in more and more and more every time you listen to something.
You got it.
And, you know, sometimes it's just not the right time for us.
Yep, and maybe today is. Anyways, we will see you in February. Have a fabulous January. Can't wait to hear how successful you are in putting in place these 10 Commandments. Thank you very much. Happy, healthy New Year, Beverly. Bye, everybody.
Bye now.